Thank you, Madam Speaker. Today, I am announcing new legislation that is of great importance to the future of space exploration. My bill will elevate the Office of Commercial Space Transportation as an independent entity within the Department of Transportation. It will remove it from the jurisdiction, the auspices of the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration. This is actually the way the office was originally set up when it was created in 1984, but in the mid-90s, it was folded into the FAA. But that was never a good fit. It isn't really what the FAA was designed to do. And the commercial space industry is a dramatically different enterprise today than it was in the mid-90s, than it even was just a few years ago. This is a common sense reform that in fact has been endorsed by the FAA's own Commercial Space Transportation Advisory Committee, which unanimously recommended removing the Office of Commercial Space Transportation from the FAA, making it its own independent entity that reports directly to the Department of Transportation Secretary. This will remove a layer of bureaucracy that has proven to be very problematic when it comes to innovation in space. And it was underscored very dramatically just last month when the world witnessed the extraordinary scene captured in this photograph, when the launch of Flight 5 for SpaceX's Starship, which is the most powerful rocket ever built, resulted in the booster being returned to the launch site and being caught in this tower without the use of landing legs or anything like that, using the Mechazilla chopstick arms. This booster, by the way, has 33 of what are called Raptor engines. Each one of those 33 engines has twice as much thrust as the engines of a Boeing 747. Truly an awe-inspiring amount of force, and the scale and power of this space vehicle is truly unprecedented. And the feat that was accomplished in Flight 5 was something that folks didn't even think was possible. By the way, I had the chance to go to Flight 6 earlier this week, which was another very successful test for SpaceX, and truly something that was remarkable to witness in person. However, this amazing scene almost didn't happen, or at least didn't happen when it did, because the FAA had tried to hold back the launch. The FAA had come out and said that it was going to depart from the previously announced timeline and was going to delay the launch by months for no good reason at all. I cross-examined the FAA administrator about this myself, and he could provide no good reason, certainly no public safety reason, for delaying the launch. He, in fact, came up with bogus reasons that were quickly debunked as false. Now, thankfully, the FAA did finally come around and allowed the launch to move forward, but if those initial delays had been allowed to stick, then both Flight 5 and Flight 6 wouldn't have happened by now. So this all just goes to underscore that the FAA really should not be involved in these matters. And with my legislation, we will get them out of the picture. The Office of Commercial Space Transportation will be housed as an independent entity within the Department of Transportation. The fact is, it should not be more difficult to get the paperwork approved for a launch than it is to actually build and launch the rocket. And you know, this is worth putting in perspective, because in spite of the fact that we have had a redundant and at times hostile regulatory regime, we have seen incredible progress in the commercial space industry, in particular by SpaceX, which has given the United States a position of dominance when it comes to space. In fact, SpaceX, this one company, accounts for well over 90% of the mass that's launched into orbit around the world. In fact, just in the last 48 hours, SpaceX has had 4 different launches from not just Texas, where Starship was launched, but from Florida and California as well. That is unprecedented. 4 launches in 48 hours. As a point of comparison, the entire continent of Europe has had fewer launches this entire year. So it's truly extraordinary what is being accomplished in spite of regulations and bureaucracies that are attempting to hold us back. And so just imagine what we can accomplish if we actually have our laws and regulations and agencies be on the side of innovation. Just imagine what might be possible. The dominance that the United States currently has in space is of tremendous national asset and is of vital importance in a number of ways. When it comes to national security, of course, as well as when it comes to connectivity, bringing internet to all corners of the globe. I have constituents in Death Valley, which I represent, which use SpaceX's Starlink system. It's also been used by our fire agencies when connectivity is disrupted with wildfires. So they've managed to accomplish all of this in spite of adverse regulations. And if we manage to change that paradigm, if we manage to actually have regulations that are designed to encourage those who are innovating, to make these seemingly impossible feats be brought somewhat closer or more readily within the bounds of possibility, it will not only enhance U.S. dominance in space, it will not only further all of those advantages I just mentioned, but I think it will continue to bring folks together around something that is truly inspiring, around this common purpose, something that's larger than any of us. I think that when we witnessed this epic catch of the Starship booster last month, it was really a singular moment, more than any other moment, perhaps in decades. It has heralded a new era of space exploration with literally infinite possibilities. And so I'm truly excited about this. I think it's something that everyone in our country and all across the world can be excited by. And I'm excited about the new possibilities that will open up when we get this bill passed and signed into law.